yesterday, did I promise you anything for today? Hello?
Ya, madam.
Did I promise you anything regarding our class today? No yet? No, right? Tak ada kan?
Tak ada.
Okay.
Masih
I
kau
want
dekat
to start
sangat, dia
because
bunyi.
according to my plan, I want to start with I should stop until changes in shareholding before your mid break. So I want to follow the schedule. So
Apa benda?
the other aspect of
Tu sebab dia tadi madam tanya
shareholding,
kita ada janji apa-apa tak?
the other aspect of
Malam.
the shareholding which is decrease in shareholding. So before that, let me start our class with Al-Fatihah. Kita lama tak online. So macam tak biasa buat cakap dorang-dorang. Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, chapter 17 Chapter 17 is about the decrease in shareholding.
17.
Okay, so chapter 16 is about increase in shareholdings, and chapter 17 is decrease in shareholding. As I mentioned to you, chapter 16 and 17 is regarding the changes in shareholdings. Okay, when we say changes, so of the shareholding, there is an increase or decrease. Okay, so this topic, chapter 17, focus on the decrease in shareholdings. Okay, chapter 16 is about increase in shareholdings. Okay, if you still remember, okay, if I perhaps that I can share with you. Okay, if we might recall, okay, about the piecemeal acquisition there is one rule when we said about crossing the accounting boundary. Okay, crossing the accounting boundary whereby when you cross the 50% acquisition. Okay, when you cross the 50% acquisition, I think I have already tell you so many.
Record tapi suara madam tak ada. Madam, suara madam tadi terputus.
The parent should revalue. And then the gain or loss in the reported profit or loss, okay, it has to be calculated.
Chapter 17 masih.
If the 50% boundary is not crossed, okay,
Madam
no
baca
gain
dalam
or
action.
loss is reported. Instead, there is adjustment to the parent equity. Okay.
Yang additional
So
note
the
yang
issue
baru
when you
kau
cross the 50% boundary, okay, for example, let's say from the passive investment, which is common investment, which is less than 20%, okay, and then there is increase in acquisition up to more than 50%. Then you have to revalue. Okay, revalue the you have to calculate the wheel. Okay, when we achieve this, across this 50% boundary, or perhaps from the significant influence, okay, which is the investment in associate. For example, let's say from 40%, and then net acquisition achieve more than 50%. More than 50% acquisition, then the company should calculate, okay, should revalue the asset. Also to get to calculate if there is goodwill. Oh, terputus. Sekarang dah okey. Hello.
Okay, madam.
Boleh tak ulang?
Okay, I'm telling. Okay. Let me repeat. Okay, before we go to decrease in shareholdings, okay, let me summarize the increase in shareholding. So increase in shareholding, okay, when there is one general principle is about the crossing the accounting boundary. Crossing the accounting boundary, when you cross this 50% acquisition, there is principle, okay, from the perspective of accounting, okay. If let's say the investor,
purchase or acquire shares in other company more than 50% acquisition, okay, the parent company should revalue their asset and then calculate the goodwill. And at the same time, the parent company or the holding company must report the gain or loss from the acquisition. Kalau di cross the 50% boundary, kalau dia tak cross tak apa. So when we talk about the crossing the 50% boundary, it can be from the passive investment, means the investment previously, because we are talking about the piecemeal acquisition, right? So the acquisition of shares was taken place in few stages. So let's say initial investment is from less than 20%. Ni dipanggil passive investment ataupun common investment. Okay, dia help to sale punya investment lah. Investment tak besar pun. Tak besar. Okay, tak besar di sini merujuk kepada big companies. Okay, so let's say from less than 20% acquisition, and then another acquisition of or investment is more than 50%. So holding company tu must revalue their asset. Okay, must calculate
50%.
the goodwill. Okay, and there is a gain or loss. Okay, from the acquisition. Is if let's say it crossed this 50% boundary ni lah. Or from passive investment, or perhaps from the investment in associate. Okay, and then more acquisition that the investment that, now become its subsidiary. So kalau dia cross 50% ni, investee tu dia jadi subsidiary. So there is significant changes in its accounting treatment. Okay, number one, okay, you must calculate the revalue of net asset. Okay, bila calculate the revalue of net asset tu, you must calculate the goodwill. And then another one, okay, you must calculate the gain or loss. Okay, from the reported profit or loss. So mesti ada gain or loss lah dalam COPL. Kalau di cross this 50% boundary. Are you following, class? Are you following?
Yes, madam.
Hello? Okay, that one for increase in shareholding. If let's say, okay, let's say dia memang dah subsidiary, let's say from 60% to 80%. Okay, like the question did yesterday tu, okay, looking ke gain or loss pun, tapi dia ada share, dia ada apa, reduction in the shareholding so dalam untuk non-controlling interest. That one yang dalam soalan 6.6 dengan 6.6. So tak ada gain or loss dalam sales. Ni sebab sales tu. Kita assume, okay, we sell the share and then we bought back. Okay, itu yang ada virtual sale. Kalau dia cross this 50% boundary. Are you following? Are you following?
Yes,
Yes,
madam.
If I can of the changes in shareholding, we have decrease in shareholdings. Okay, decrease in shareholding, okay, meaning that the company has, okay, there are two situation whereby investor dispose tu maksudnya jual lah. Okay, jual share dia. Okay, the investor impose all or portion of its interest in the investee. Sama ada dijual sepenuhnya ataupun dijual sebahagian daripada dia punya investment dekat investee tu. Okay, dia jual balik share dia, dia jual sungguh. Bukan virtual lah, bukan virtual. This one is actual sales of actual investor, actual dispose. Okay, dispose of shares. Okay, or there is a deemed disposal. Okay, deemed disposal. Hari tu kita ada deemed acquisition kan. Deemed acquisition if let's say the investor has decreased its shareholdings. Decrease its shares. Okay, maksudnya dia issue share dia. So dia punya shareholding tu ada berubah. Ni pun sama lah. Deemed disposal. Macam jual tapi tak jual pun. But there is decrease in its shareholding. So there are two situations here. Okay. When there is a change in the shareholding and decrease in shareholding, so you would expect there is changes in status. Okay, changes in the status of the change in the relationship between the investor and investee. Okay, previously, let's say from the passive or investment in associate become subsidiary. But now when you decrease, perhaps from the subsidiary now become the now become the investment in associate ataupun dia jadi passive investment. So there could be a change in the relationship between the investor and investee. So you would expect there is a treatment. Okay, how would the let's say the investee previously was the parents, okay, but due to the changes, due to decrease in shareholding, okay, the goodwill on the consolidation needs to be disposed as well. So goodwill tu yang sebelum ni in the consolidated accounts tu, okay, consolidation accounts tu there is a goodwill, it needs to be disposed. Dia mesti di write off lah, dia kena write off. And there is also these are the effect when there is decrease in shareholding. I hope that you are with your textbook now. Everybody with his textbooks now, make sure that you have chapter 17 in front of you. Do not simply follow the stream. Okay, so there are 4 situations that will happen, okay, if there is decrease in the number of shareholdings. Okay, number 1, there is a change in the relationship between investor and investee, and there is specific treatment on the goodwill, okay, whereby the goodwill needs to be disposed of. Dia kena buang lah. Okay, and there is the investor should determine the gain or loss on the disposal of share, okay, from the perspective of investor and the group. And if there is the net investment in foreign nation, the disposal accumulated, ini yang fourth situation tu, yang D tu kita tak touch, kita tak tengok lah. So we will look at these 3, okay, A, B, C, okay, the changes in the accounts. Okay, we are talking about the treatment on decrease in shareholding in these 3 only. Okay, so we assume the investee are all local, okay, are all in local operation, okay, dalam mata wang yang sama. So change in the relationship. Okay, change in relationship, it can be parents dispose all shares in the subsidiary. So meaning that the investor cease to be an investor. So dia dispose semua, dia jual semua share dekat subsidiary. So tak ada apa-apa hubungan lah di antara investor dengan investee. So investor tu dah tak jadi pelabur dah tak jadi. Are you following? Still following me, right? So daripada subsidiary dia akan jadi tak ada apa-apa hubungan. Or perhaps B, the parents dispose part of the interest but retain some sufficient share to exert control over the investee. For example, let's say H initially held 80% acquisition, okay, 80% control, okay, in S. Subsequently, H dekat ni tengok dia initially acquire 800,000 out of 1 million shares in S. So meaning how many percent? How many control? How many percent of the acquisition? Berapa kelas? Masih mana Masih? Suka tengok online ni. Masih?
Aktif, saya.
Okay, Masih.
Ya.
Okay, 80%. 80% acquisition and then H sold off 200,000 of shares. What happened now? What happened now?
Dah 600.
Dijual berapa? Dijual
200,000.
200,000. So percentage dia jadi berapa? Dia jadi
60%.
60%. Kan dia jadi 60%. So kalau kat sini dia masih lagi retain some shares lah. Okay, to exert control or to control. Masih lagi boleh control kan, but there is some changes lah. But the non-controlling interest has increased from 20% to 40%, isn't it? So non-controlling interest tu lagi lebih besar sekarang. Hari tu 20, kan jadi 40. Macam tu. Okay, and then third situation. Holding entity dispose part of the interest yet hold substantial interest in the subsidiary. Okay, sufficient to exert influence over the investee. Kalau dalam case ni, investee becomes the associate. Kalau tadi, dia masih lagi become the holding company. But C ni, investee now become the associate. For example, let's say from 80%, okay, to 40% interest. But still, H or the holding company has some interest lah. Dia boleh give some exert significant influence. Okay, so tengok kalau A dia
Madam
tak dengar.
Dispose most of the interest but retain some interest in the investee, although not sufficient to the investor be classified as associate or subsidiary. So the
Doktor
investment now
sangkut
become a
tadi.
simple investment. So dia dispose tapi masih ada lagi. Tak dengar suara? Sekarang dengar sekarang?
Doktor tadi dekat C tu
Can you hear
sangkut.
me now?
Tadi dekat point C tu sangkut.
Okay, okay, C, okay, from subsidiary become investment in associate. Kalau C.
Let's say from 80% interest, okay, to 40% interest. You know 40% interest is investment in associate, isn't it? C. Betul tak C?
Betul.
So daripada
Betul.
S, dari subsidiary jadi investment in associate. Are you following? Did you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, madam.
Boleh dengar?
Boleh.
Hello?
Boleh doktor, boleh.
Hello?
Boleh.
Boleh, madam.
Okay. D, this one. Okay, D dispose most of dispose interest. Retain some interest in the investee. Contoh, example, 80% to 10%. Dia dispose 70% daripada share itu. Dijual 70% daripada share, tinggal 10%. Yang ni masih lagi ada hubungan tapi dia tak signifikan. So that one, if let's say interest of 10%, meaning that it is the very passive investment ataupun it is a common interest, which is this will be classified under financial instrument. Okay, dia classified under MFRS 139 and MFRS 132 financial instrument. Okay, so this one just a passive investment. So you see, so this is four different situation in the changes in shareholding. Decrease in shareholding. Okay, daripada subsidiary kepada tiada apa-apa hubungan. Okay, ataupun dia tak ada hubungan. Yang kedua tu dia jadi daripada subsidiary, masih lagi subsidiary. Okay, daripada C, daripada subsidiary jadi investment associate. Ataupun D, okay, daripada subsidiary, lepas tu dia jadi common investment. Okay, dia punya just a very passive investment. So itu ialah the business combination and consolidated accounts. Okay, previously let's say the investment is a subsidiary. So in subsidiary there is a goodwill, isn't it? There is a goodwill in the consolidated account. So it needs to be disposed. Okay, needs to be disposed. Example, okay, or example, no change in the relationship of parents to take control. So ada dua situasi tu sama treatment dia. Where investors still retain control in investing, investor has disposed some of the investment but still retain control. Example, let's say H has 80% acquisition, and out of this 200,000, 60,000 was written off. So let's say itu X4, let's say X7, H sold out 200,000 out of this 800,000 tu. Okay, and goodwill, okay, will become 150,000. Hello? So you see, kalau daripada acquisition, okay, from acquisition of 800,000 and then dispose of 200,000, total ordinary share is 1 million. So okay, dia punya decrease in shareholding daripada berapa jadi berapa?
800 jadi 600.
Okay. So daripada 80% acquisition, ya betul, 800,000 unit kepada 600,000 unit kan? Betul tak? So dia punya controlling interest is from 80% to 60%. So meaning that H still retain the control, isn't it? H tu masih ada kawanan lah, still retain the control in S. Are you following me?
Yes.
Okay. But the goodwill will after the disposal of 200 unit of shares, H dah jual 200,000 unit tu. So goodwill will become 140,000. So goodwill daripada 200,000 dia jadi 140,000. Walaupun control tu masih retain tapi masih berkuasa lah. Okay. That's the first situation. Okay. If let's say the investee becomes an associate ataupun investor lose control. Okay. Okay, kalau dalam ni bila dia becomes a investment in associate, dia can S to be consolidated in H? H boleh consolidate tak S tu? Hello? Kalau daripada investee daripada subsidi
Jadi hilang.
Madam lain sekali.
Can you consolidate?
Suara doktor hilang.
Hello, can you hear me? Boleh lagi? Okay.
Yes,
Let's say previous, the investee after the holding company decrease in shareholdings in the investee becomes the associate. Kalau dulu, ya. Sorry? Hello, apa dia? Okay. Kalau dulu, investment tu ialah dia punya subsidiary. Sekarang ni dia jadi investment in associate. Sebabnya dia dah kurangkan dia punya share lah. Dia jual share dia. Daripada subsidiary kepada investment associate. Kalau saya tanya you, kalau investment in associate ni, dia boleh consolidate tak account dia?
Tak boleh.
Tak
Boleh
boleh.
consolidate tak?
Tak boleh.
Hello?
Tak boleh madam.
Previously, when you learn investment in associate, did you consolidate? Did you consolidate the account?
Cannot.
Yes or no?
No.
Hello? Boleh dengar tak saya ni?
No madam. Line madam lambat.
Hello? Tak dengar.
Yes, madam.
Oh, line lambat. Hello? Boleh dengar?
Boleh, madam.
Boleh madam. Doktor dengar tak kita orang?
Okay, I think I cannot hear you lah. Aduh, sedihnya. Let me see. I think the line is boleh lah. Line lambat lah. Line saya lambat kot.
Okay, so as I mentioned to you,
Ya.
Okay.
Hello.
Okey madam, okey. Kita orang
lain
test je
tak boleh
tadi.
sangat lah. Macam lebat. Okay. So saya katakan, if let's say the investment previously was a subsidiary, sekarang jadi associate. Jadi kalau
Hello. Madam, dengar tak kami?
Doktor, suara doktor hilang lagi.
say from the 80% acquisition and then now become 20% acquisition. So the goodwill of 140,000, let's say 140,000 will be write off. Eventually write off. Write off tu maksudnya dia tak adalah dia write off lah against the profit of loss. Okay? Hello? Boleh? Cuma nak cover tu je. Kalau dia dah, if let's say ni Amelia cakap apa? Ni suara doktor hilang alamak. Suara saya hilang. Dah hilang suara saya.
Madam,
Saya kemarin kuat cakap. Ya.
the an investor become an associate tu terus hilang waktu madam terangkan.
Okay. Cuma kalau dia jadi investment associate ataupun dia lost control, saya kata goodwill tu kita kena write off fully. Right? Goodwill tu you mesti write off terus. Dia tak boleh maintain dah.
Kesemuanya.
Okay? Cakap begitu. Boleh Amelia. Boleh Amelia?
Boleh, madam, boleh.
Tak dengar pun. Okay, how to calculate the gain or loss? Okay, how to calculate the gain or loss? Okay, it is from the investors financial statement ataupun consolidated financial statement. So macam mana kita nak kira For example, let's say example 1 example 1. How would you calculate? The tak dengar ni. What I have started this morning, whereby we were talking about what? We will discuss about what this morning?
Decrease in shareholding.
Decrease in shareholdings. Okay, decrease in shareholding. So did you manage to see my sharing? Nampak tak?
Tak.
Oh, tak nampak. Okay, sorry. Boleh nampak?
Nampak, doktor.
Okay. We were talking about decrease in shareholdings include restructure and group reconstruction. Okay, as we learned in chapter 16, we learned about the increase in shareholdings, but now it is decrease in shareholdings. Okay, as I mentioned to you this morning, if there is a change in shareholdings, okay, previously in chapter 16 we have changes in the relationship, isn't it? Changes in relationship between the investor and also the investee, whereby in this decrease in shareholding, the investor has disposed all or a portion of its interest in the investee. So maksudnya investor dispose all, dia jual semua lah share yang dia acquire tu, dia jual semua ataupun dia jual sebahagian. Okay, and the other one perhaps that there is a deemed disposal. This deemed disposal means that
there is a change, there is decrease in shareholding without the investor sell. Okay, I mean dispose the shares. This topic will use the word dispose. Dispose maksudnya jual lah. Okay, dispose share. Maksudnya dia jual balik dia punya share tu. Share yang dia beli tu, okay, masa dia increase in shareholding dia beli, okay, dia acquire, lepas tu dia jual dah. So meaning you would expect there is a decrease in shareholdings. Okay, so for your context, there are issues, okay, regarding the decrease in shareholding with regards to consolidation issue. Okay, with regard to consolidation, okay, there are issues regarding this. Okay, number one is about the change. If you can see number 1A tu, change in relationship between investor and investee. Okay, dia ada perubahan lah dalam dia punya hubungan tu. Katakanlah contoh daripada investee dia ialah subsidiary. So bila decrease in shareholding, the investee of the subsidiary can become the associate. Dia ada investment in associate ataupun dia boleh jadi dia boleh jadi simple investment. Okay, which is applicable to the disposal of shares ni, because you can expect, okay, when okay, let's say goodwill will appear in the group accounts when the parents have a subsidiary. Okay, subsidiary when a holding company acquire acquire investee, so you would expect that is a goodwill. But if let's say the parents or holding company dispose all shares, so meaning that goodwill should be disposed as well. Pun kena dispose lah sebab dah tak perlu ada there should be no more investment, no more goodwill in its account. Or number 3, okay, there is a determination of gain or loss from the disposal. Okay, kalau ada disposal, you will expect there is a gain or loss on the disposal. Okay, so what an accountant should do from the perspective of investor or from the perspective of the group. Yang D ni kita tak touch. Okay, when the net investment in the foreign operation, this one involve foreign operation. But for this topic, we are not going to do to go into further foreign operation, but all considered as a in the same currency. So change relationship. So I have explained to you. And then we go to, as I mentioned to you, what you should do as an accountant, okay? Because there are issues, okay? Ada beberapa isu lah akan timbul kalau ada berlakunya disposal of shares. Okay, when I say disposal of share, meaning that there is a decrease in the shareholdings. Okay, decrease of shareholdings, okay, of the investor and to in investing. Okay, so if we look at how an accountant should deal with this. Okay, accountant kena buat macam mana nak dispose. Okay, if we look at, okay, let's say, we are talking about the consolidation techniques. What an accountant should do when there is a disposal of shares. Okay, bila dia dispose share, okay, apa yang accountant tu perlu buat. Okay, so sebelum tu, jangan lupa you punya attendance. Attendance you ada dekat klip. Okay, what you should do, okay, for the disposal. Tapi saya buka attendance sampai 3 suku. So nanti lepas kelas you boleh tengok. Okay, let's say example for the consolidation techniques. Okay, let's say this one summarize what I have explained to you. Okay, let's say the investor dispose all shares. So status dia investor will be an outsider, no more the parents. In the group statement of profit or loss, okay, consolidate the result of the date of disposal of shares. In the group accounts, there's no more. Okay, no more goodwill. Okay, no more consolidation accounts for the subsidiary itulah. And then if let's say the investor dispose, okay, but retain control, meaning that the investee will be remain as a subsidiary. Okay, still consolidate, but okay, in the group account consolidate but non-controlling interest percentage will be based on the year end tu. Okay, sebab ada changes kan. And then C tu, if let's say dispose substantial amount, and lost the control but able to exert significant influence. So daripada subsidiary jadi associate okay, investment. Dia jadi investment in associate. So kalau dalam book of investee ni, investee will become an associate. Okay, consolidated with the results of the operation until the date of disposal of the shares. Okay, for the following subsequent period. Okay, for the group statement of financial position tu, the entry the investment will be equity accounted. You cannot consolidate. Okay. Then if let's say dispose nearly all of the shares, so from the subsidiary, okay, become into normal, common investment. So you apa? Kalau untuk investee tu dia akan keluar sebagai non-current asset lah. Dia jadi simple investment. Okay, dia tak ada exert significant influence. Dia bukan investment in associate, dia bukan subsidiary. It's just a common or simple investment. Okay, consolidate until the date of disposal, and then the investment will be disclosed as a carrying amount. Okay, they follow the MFRS 139. Okay, so first situation, dispose all of the investors interest in the subsidiary. So dispose semua. So apa yang you perlu buat? Okay, let's say example 3 Example 3 tells you about if let's say parent company dispose all shares in S. Are you following me, class? Are you following, class?
Yes, madam. Doctor.
Example 3, when the holding company dispose all shares. Okay, dispose all investment in S. Okay. So look at the information provided to you. Okay, statement of financial position of H and S, the equity, okay, which consists of ordinary share capital, retained profit. Okay, retained profit at the beginning of the year plus profit for the year, and then assets, and then the assets and equity. Okay, no liability here. Okay, and then statement of profit or loss. Okay, you have revenue, expenses, profit before tax and tax. Additional information, H acquire 80% shares in S, okay, in X on X7, and the reserves of S were 20,000, and the number of issued ordinary shares of S was 100,000. And then X9, H disposed all its shares in S, okay, for 200,000. So H disposed shares in S and then get 200,000. Dia jual semua share. So share dia punya sale proceed dia ialah 200,000. You kena faham cerita dia. This transaction has not been recorded in the book of H. H do not yet record this. That's why dalam book H tu masih ada. Okay, masih ada investment in S 120,000. So dia jual semua ni 120,000 cost dia dapat 200,000. Are you following me? Are you following, class?
Yes, madam.
Yes.
Yes.
Hello?
Okay,
Yes,
so you
doctor.
understand it.
Okay, goodwill on the consolidation remains unimpaired. Goodwill yang dalam ni, goodwill dia tak impair pun. Tapi bila dispose dia kena dispose. Tak apa, we will look at it, how to do it. Fair value of non-controlling interest on 1st January X9 upon the acquisition date was 25,500. So you were required to calculate the gain or loss on the disposal of shares in S and prepare group financial statement. So first of all, you will calculate the goodwill on consolidation accounts. Okay, because you must calculate because you are going to when a company acquisition is more, it should be consolidated. So you calculate the goodwill first. Okay, so under partial goodwill, you can calculate. Okay, the goodwill is 24,000. Okay, 24,000, and then under full goodwill, the goodwill is 25,500 because of the different amount of non-controlling interest. Okay, and then
nak tanya.
yeah,
Medium. Macam mana nak tahu
please,
dia kena
siapa
buat
nak tanya?
partial?
Hello,
Medium, macam mana nak tahu
Hello?
bila nak kena buat partial dengan full tu?
Anybody who wants to ask the question?
Madam dengar tak?
Dengar?
Macam mana nak tahu bila nak buat partial dengan full tu?
Dia memang kalau full goodwill you boleh buat. Okay, full goodwill, partial goodwill memang boleh buat kan? Betul tak? Sebab dia kalau partial dengan full dia punya treatment dia beza sikit. So dalam kes ni dia tak bagi tahu kan? Tapi you boleh prepare dua-dua. Okay? Kalau full goodwill sebabnya non-controlling interest was mentioned here. So you can put. So okay, first partial goodwill is 24,000. Full goodwill is 25,500. Kebetulan sama. You are following me, right? Hello?
Yes, doktor.
Okay, tengok Kalau untuk calculation of disposal of the subsidiary, so gain or loss, okay, under H, you will simply compare between the proceed and carrying amount. Tu je. Dalam buku H, dia akan record sebagai gain on disposal lah. Sebabnya dia dapat 200,000. Okay, yang dulu dia incur cost 120,000, so get the gain on disposal lah. But from the consolidation, this is how would you calculate, because you will compare between net asset at the end on the date of and the date of disposal with the proceeds. Okay, proceeds means that how much you get. Okay, when you dispose the shares. So you see here, parent company received 200,000 and then you compare with the net asset. So net asset on 1st July X9. Okay, share capital plus retained profit brought forward. Okay, plus dengan profit for the year until 30th June. Until 30th June, because you see the disposal took place during the year, isn't it? Pertengahan tahun. So meaning you will compare the sale proceed with the carrying amount. So in order to calculate the carrying amount, okay, you will the carrying amount of the net asset on the date of disposal. So you see plus share capital plus dengan retained profit opening with the retained profit during the year until 30th June. So it is 145,000 times 80%. Sebab dia punya interest rate ialah 80% saja. Okay, and then you will write off the goodwill. You must write off the goodwill that you get here from the partial. You ambil yang partial. You ambil partial goodwill ni. Dia akan write off lah. You will write off that 24,000. Only then you will able to calculate the gain on disposal or loss. So you compare the proceed with the dipanggil net asset on 1st July X9 dengan goodwill. So since
Doktor kenapa ambil yang partial, doktor?
Dia memang ambil yang partial. Sebabnya dalam partial ni yang group je punya. Dapat group punya je. Ambil yang partial. Kalau saya ada maklumat lain ni saya akan bagi tahu Tapi yang saya faham sebab partial goodwill ni ialah yang there is no shares of dia punya goodwill tu yang untuk parent saja. Okay. So and then you prepare the consolidated profit or loss tu, So you combine H plus dengan subsidiary for the first 6 months je. First 6 months only. Ni kebetulan the disposal of shares on 1st July X9, isn't it? 1st July X9. So the parent company should still consolidate the first 6 months. 6 bulan pertama tu. Whereby you look at the revenue. Revenue total 100,000. So you divide by times 6 divided by 2. Isn't it? Nampak tak ni? Tengok ni. Hello? Nampak tak? Dia punya revenue of S. Nampak tak revenue of S?
Madam, kiranya 100 tu kita kena bagi 2 lah.
Bagi dua dalam soalan ni. Sebabnya disposal tu adalah, disposal tu pada tarikh 1 Julai. So 6 bulan pertama tu dia kena consolidate lah. Tapi 6 bulan kedua tak boleh dah. This is the first 6 month. Okay, first 6 month because the disposal took place on 1st July. Isn't it? Are you following class?
Yes.
Ini ialah untuk 6 bulan pertama je. Same goes to expenses. You divide 85,000 we divide by 2. Okay, or times by 85,000 times 1 divide by 2 kan. Setengah. Okay, ataupun 6 bulan bagi dengan 12. Kalau 6 bagi dengan 12. Then same goes to the profit before tax and then gain on disposal of subsidiary. Gain on disposal of subsidiary, cuba tengok ni. Dia kan ambil lah, dia dapat 60,000 as a gain from the from the disposal, right? So this one will be treated as ada income. Gain on disposal of subsidiary here. Okay, and then you have a profit before tax. Okay, and then you have tax. Okay, so tax pun for S will be divided by 2. And then profit after tax attributable to parents and non-controlling interest. So look at untuk non-controlling interest tu, you see 10,000 profit after tax of S, okay, times 6/12, okay, and then times 20%. Okay, why 20%? Why 20% class? Sebabnya
SCI.
80% kan, 80% acquisition. So non-controlling interest for the first 6 months is 20%. Okay. So tu je. Okay, so this is when when the holding company dispose all shares in S. So saya kata setengah jam je kan sebab at 3 o'clock I have another class. So I want you to do nanti saya bagi you extra question untuk investment in associate just for your for your extra exercise. Boleh? Hello?
InsyaAllah dah.
So, itu je dulu untuk hari ni. But you can try example 4. Okay, example 4 boleh tengok Okay, I want you to do question. Dari meeting pukul 3 ni. I want you to try do question 17.1. Okay, 17.2 and then 17.6. Chapter 17.1, question 17.1, 17.2, then 17.6. Okay. So after your okay, okay, nanti saya bagi yang extra question tu you boleh buat untuk yang extra question for your task tomorrow. And then tapi tomorrow let's hope that everything will be fine as like now. Okay, there is no rain. Okay, the weather is good. Okay, insyaAllah. So we hope that tomorrow night the situation will be okay. So we assume there is no such unprecedented situation like this morning. So malam esok test you. Okay, test 1 so I think that is all. Thank you so much for your participation. Don't forget to take your attendance today. Okay.
Itu yang extra soalan tu untuk test
Apa tu? Yeah, extra question for the test. But I will snap the question. I will snap the question and then after you finish it, if you need the answer, you tell me. Okay, you tell me. Okay, you tell me. Then I will give you the answer. I don't want to give the answer right away. You do first. Okay, you do first. Okay? Boleh?
Baik, madam. Boleh.
Okay.
Boleh, doktor.